Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. Spiritually Speaking with Sarah is presented by the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. For the next 2 hours, listen, call in, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, and share love and light.
In me and you. Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual, and we cannot wait to talk to you. It is a Cinco de Mayo day. It's a pull me over, grab me a margarita kind of day. And we're also talking about the angels, and we're talking about some astrology today. We've got the angels in the house. We're going to be connecting to your guides and to your angels and giving you messages. And then in the second hour at 7 p.m., we have my friend Stacie Haller. She's going to be sharing with us all that's going on with the stars and the planets. Are the stars out tonight? I don't care if it's cloudy or bright. We got a full moon coming. We've got a new moon coming. We've got eclipses coming. We've got Mercury retrograde. And Stacie's got some really good information as to how you're going to navigate it and even how it might impact your relationships, your emotions, and your life. And for each one of you who was listening on Facebook and YouTube, Jiminy Crickets, I sure hope you share the page and send it out to all your friends. Share the light, share the love. We're going to answer questions on Facebook. We're going to answer questions on YouTube. You can even watch this live at my sarahspiritual.com page, where you find my website, and we're answering questions live on the phone lines. But on the way here, I was recalling some conversations I had with some people, some of my sessions that I've had over the past few days. And it was interesting how so many people are trying to get right here. And here in front of the camera, I'm pointing to the center of my chest, to the heart. We're all trying to get back to the center of who we are and find our heart and put on our heart light and make connections that are heartfelt and understand our truth. You know, we have been in a awkward, uncomfortable way, and we're ready. We're ready to shine our light and be who we've come to be, and we don't want to play anymore. We want our life, I'm going to say we want our life back. But did we really lose the life, or did the life shift so that we could realize what was missing in our life and what we want to use moving forward to get us to where we want to go? You know, your angels, your guides, they're always there. They're giving us messages. They're giving you guidance, and they're always watching over you. I was so pleased to talk to a woman yesterday, and she sat across from me, and we were talking about life and the messages that Spirit had for her. And then all of a sudden, I see this man. He's kind of dressed in this like military kind of feeling. And he had this outspoken external strength, but internally he seemed like he was soft and gentle, but his way was a little rough. And as I was continuing to talk to her, he was kind of just showing up. And then he was talking to me about something about a shot of whiskey. And I was like, okay. So I had to say to her, listen, I got this man here, and I describe everything that I'm seeing. And, you know, she says, that's my dad. And as we make this connection to your father, I become more and more aware of how they are watching over us. And then on the other side, there was another connection of a beautiful woman that came through who was a great-grandmother. And this great-grandmother came through with such love, and that even though she didn't really spend much time with the granddaughter, or the great-great-granddaughter, she still was showing up to give support. And she gave us words and guidance and evidence of who she was and why she was there, to let her know that she's caring for everyone in the family. And she talked about other people that were there with her on the other side. And it just keeps reminding me we're not alone. It keeps proving to us that when we're here on the physical sense, and then we're no longer in the physical sense, that there's something else. There's so much more. There's a connection that's divine that embraces us, and we actually get a sense of home. You know, there's a song from The Wiz, and the first few lines say, when I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was there, back to the place for the things I've been knowing. And it talks about what she knew. It talks about the sense of love. So those of you who are fortunate enough to have families that have a sense of love and connection, how wonderful. Honor that. And those of you who maybe don't have that, the family is a little disjointed, not on the same page. Maybe you're the odd man in the family or the odd girl, and you don't really blend. And so you've taken your own path, your own way, and you're kind of taking the long way, but it's not under the guise of what someone else wants you to do. So at times you may feel alone, misunderstood, and disconnected. There's such a great love there. I think of the things that we've shared with people. And maybe now, because we've become a little bit more conscious of here today, gone tomorrow, kind of been bombarded with that recently, right? Over this 2020, 2021 time, it's kind of been more in our face. So savoring the moments, the connections, it's just so important. And when I look at the connections with people, what I see is no matter how much we try to do, there are some people who are just not in a place to receive the love that we have. And they just are too disrupted in their own way. And so when we come into this world as a wonderful little child filled with beauty and joy and harmony and light, and all we really know is the energy that we were born of from the other side, and we come into these well-meaning but sometimes troubled parents who do the best they can. Sometimes we don't feel connected. We feel as if we couldn't be good enough or worthy. And we recognize the difference. And then we go out and we try to find our own way and make our own way. And sometimes we make great choices as children turn young adults, turned adults. And other times we find ourselves repeating a series of patterns that are not too different from the choices our parents might have made or their behavior. And that's when we have to take that step back and really recognize that there's guidance, there's help, there's support from the other side. No one can tell me that people don't notice what is not working. It's just people are afraid to change or they don't know how to change. And when we go to our parents and our great-grandparents and keep going back in the generations, they did the best with what they had for where they were in their life and the evolution of their souls, their spirituality, and the evolution of where society was in a particular time. And they can only do so much. Imagine being part of a culture and your groom or bride are picked for you, but yet that's your lifetime partner. I'm sure there are many that made it work, and then there were others that just felt so disconnected and disappointed, but dutifully went through the motions of life because that's what they had to do. That's what they were told to do. In today's world, we have so many options and so many gifts before us. And we also have an ability to choose to change. So wherever you are in your life today, on this day, on the Cinco de Mayo day, as we're approaching soon to be a midway mark of the 2021 year, can you imagine? You can choose to make a change. But you don't have to fly blind. And you don't have to figure it out. I know so many people who spend a great deal of time analyzing stories in their head and trying to figure things out and how they get from point A to point B. But the guidance, the divine inspiration is truly there. And honoring the fact that our loved ones who've gone before us did pave the way. And being free enough within yourself to ask for assistance from God, from the guides, from your angels, and even your loved ones. And ask them, give me a sign. There are days that when I talk to the loved ones on the other side, on my own behalf, I look at them and I'm like, well, I don't know, I'm feeling a little special today. You're going to need to make it be a really big sign because I don't know. And they show up in the most miraculous ways. And I truly believe that they appreciate our humor, our ability to laugh at ourselves and where we are and not beat ourselves up in our choices, and how we can make a difference in our own lives by simply stepping back and taking that bird's eye view, and then just being brave enough to say, I know I'm going this way, but now I choose to change and go this way. The other day, actually last week, it was my grandmother's passing anniversary. It was April 29th. And I just knew. I just love when I know stuff, right? And I just knew that she was with me and she was around me. But I'm Sarah Spiritual, and sometimes even I gotta go, hey, I want evidence. Show me. I want to know. And I just knew that she would find a way. So I was so sure that she was going to find a way on her passing anniversary that I picked a number that I had in mind. And I said, well, I'm going to play this number and I'm going to play this number and I'm going to play and we're going to see. And it didn't come up on that day. But I woke up the next morning and I said, my grandmother has a birthday present for me. Now, mind you, my birthday's not for a few weeks. But I decided that on her passing anniversary, where she got to go home and be in the light and love, she had a birthday present for me. So I went on my way, and it was one of those hectic mornings, and I've got to get to the center, got to do what I've got to do. And I decided I'm not going to let any of these things I have to do distract me. I have to go open the store. It was a different kind of week last week. It was a little off schedule. I'm going to stop and I'm going to play this number. And sure enough, straight, just like my birthday is, that's the number that came. And I announced, see, my grandma had a birthday present for me after all. I just know what I know. And what I'm saying to all of you listening is that your loved one could have passed a few months ago, a few years ago, and in my case, 27 years ago, my grandmother passed. They're still with you. And as long as they're in a place where they can communicate, they're going to find a way to give you a sign. They're going to come to you in a dream. They're going to show you something so you know you're not alone. I have a dear friend of mine, and she's since moved to Texas, but she's always posting on Facebook. She's finding a feather in her living room, a feather in her bedroom. She's finding a feather in her car. And I really can tell you, someone must be saying, who's listening, well, okay, I'm sure one of her family members is just putting it there to pacify her, but they're showing up in ways and places that are impossible. And so she knows that that feather popping up, somehow finding its way in to her house, is their way of letting her know that they heard her and that they're with her. You have to look beyond what you expect. I may have a particular way that I communicate, and I have an expectation of what I would like to hear back and receive from them. But you may have an expectation, but they may not be able to communicate in the way that you would love to hear from them. Your angels may not speak it that way, share it that way, send a signal that way. Your loved one may not be able to come to you in a dream or make you feel that they're sitting next to you. They may only know to have you get in the car at just a moment that a song that was their favorite song would be playing, or a song that means something to you. And the way they do that is something will happen that you can't quite find your keys, and so you're about 60 seconds behind schedule, but that puts you in the car at just the right moment. Then when you sit in the car and turn it on and the radio starts, half a second later the song begins. And you go, oh, that's for me. You have to learn that there is no separation there's no separation between us and God. It may seem vastly, vastly far away, and maybe something that we can't quite comprehend because it's so vast. But they're there. God is there. The angels are there. Your loved ones are there. We are born of a light that is meant to live through each one of us. And every angel, every guide has a mission, a purpose, and we're their projects. So maybe you're the special ed project for your angels and guides. Maybe some of you are a little problematic, but they're not judging you the way we would judge, or I jokingly kind of categorized and labeled it. They're holding space, knowing that you're finding your way the best way you can, and that your unique light, nobody can put a box over it or put it out. I was really pleased to talk to someone this afternoon, and she was my last session before I jumped off and started to get ready to come to the radio station. And she's such a bright light. And she was just so bright and so bubbly that our parents really didn't know what to do with her. So they did their best to get her to conform so that it would be a better experience for all of them in the household. But all she was being was this wonderful, happy, young little girl that thought differently and saw life in a greater way than what they were seeing their life as. And she was kind of questioning things, and she was honoring her truth. And she wasn't going to admit to doing something wrong if she didn't really feel she did something wrong. She was being her own true self. And even though they loved her greatly, they just didn't understand her. So to make it easier, they tried to mold her. There really was no molding, because she since went on to be a great individual, great being, famous actress. She's living her life and helping other people now. So when life presents itself in a way that you have this opportunity to shine, you have to remember who you are. Because the uniqueness that is you, the specialness that is you, the personality that is you, the ego that is you, these are all complex aspects of who you are that define your expression in this physical world, but by no means are ever meant to be just like the person next to you. We're all meant to be unique. So wouldn't it make sense that our angels and our guides, our loved ones, would find their own unique way to communicate with us? And just let us know that they love us. You know, this month marks my 12-year anniversary on this national radio platform. And we're really excited. And I look back at the series of things that have happened over the years, and I know that my guides and my angels, they set it up for me. I just showed up and was willing to say yes, but they set it up. I know that my grandmother and my father and my other loved ones on the other side, they held the space for me. That they may not have understood where I was going when I was a child, but now they see the bigger picture. And no one can really judge us, because we each come with a light and a whole gang of angels and guides alongside us. And your loved ones are always with you. We're going to talk to each one of you tonight at 888-565-1470. We're going to pop on into our Facebook page and our YouTube page, and we're going to answer your questions. And then we're going to talk to Stacie, get an idea what the astrology's got to say. So continue to stay with us here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 as we navigate your questions and we share some light, have some laughs, and talk to a guide or two. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away, because you know we're going to be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light. Call Sarah Spiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
Yes, indeed. We are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And I can't wait to talk to all of you. And I can't wait to talk to my friends on Facebook. And this month is going to be an exciting month. Not only is it my birthday month, but it is an exciting 12-year anniversary month. So you'll be looking for some of the special things we're going to be doing in the weeks to come as we count up to our official 12-year anniversary. So we're going to go to the phone lines right now. I've got to go to Pittsburgh. I've got Brianna on the line. Brianna, how are you tonight?
Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Brianna. And how can we assist you tonight?
Well, I just want to say happy birthday before anything else. So
well, thank you. We got almost a month to go, but thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. So guess what?
Guess what?
I had a big break. I got a job, a great job.
Great.
And a great job, yeah. And I was wondering, it's within the social services, and I was wondering how I'm going to do and how will it go. And I was also wondering if what my mom thinks about it on the other side, you know.
Well, your mom's energy is very ever present, very strong around you, because I feel as if you spend quite a bit of time talking to her and also doing your best to keep your eye out for Dad. Yes, you're looking out for Dad, please. Is this true, please?
Yeah, I keep an eye on him. I come visit him and see how he's doing, you know.
Well, he's a tough bird, too, so he's definitely doing his best.
Yes, he
he's
is.
a little stubborn
he's
man.
He's not perfect, but he's trying his best.
Yeah, he's not perfect, but he's a stubborn man, is what I see here.
Yeah.
Mom's energy is, you know, it's interesting. I feel like Mom did her best to help you feel your authenticity and your originality. although she may not have always understood who you were, but now she gets it. And there's such love outpouring from the other side. You know, I feel as if the next 2 months of this new role will be a bit of an adjustment for you and conforming to some of their ways. But once you get the hang of it, everything's going to move very smoothly and well for you. And I feel as if like it's going to give you an opportunity to shine and demonstrate your talents and your desire to be of assistance to others. So it's going to be a good opportunity. And I feel like there's good money associated with this job. So this will be good for you.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you, Brianna, for your call. Bye for now.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
You're welcome. 888-565-1470. We're going to take some questions from Facebook and YouTube. Let's see who we've got going on our Facebook and our YouTube crew here. We've got our YouTube question. And we got Jessica the Goddess. She says, hey, Sarah, I hope all is well. What can I expect of this coming year? You know, the first thing I hear for you, Goddess, is I got a new attitude. It's your time to step in a new attitude and really not take anybody's stuff. You're going to really step into your power. I truly feel as if this upcoming year is going to bring you great success financially, but something that has to do with connections with people and networking with people. And this empowered feeling that I see with you is what's going to take you over the top to a new level. And when I look at this energy, Goddess, I feel as if there's great financial wellness that comes. And we've only just begun for you, because as I put my foot on the month of May, which we are, and your birthday, drum roll please, is coming up very soon, I feel like that's when you start to feel this pulsating feeling of I can do it. Not I think I can, but I know I can, I can do it. And I'm going to move forward in a direction that empowers me and brings me the flexibility, the success, the joy, the harmony, and the lucrative flow of abundance that I so desire. And so it is, my dear Goddess. Thank you so much for your YouTube question. We're going to pull another question from YouTube and Facebook. Oop, they're popping me over to Facebook. I got Carrie Cross. Carrie Cross says, hey, Sarah, I was born in December, and they give their birth date. And they say, well, hey, am I going to find my love, my soulmate? You know, first of all, the first thing that I'm made aware of for you is that this is actually a strong year as we bring you closer to the energy of love near your birthday. I feel like your birthday month is opening up a new sense, a new beginning for you. And I feel like this marker in time, that seems to be a significant birthday, may I say, Carrie Cross, that this marker in time that makes you feel as if you haven't had what you wanted in this lifetime is really just opening you up for a new beginning of a second half that is encapsulating everything you've ever desired. I do see primary partner, soulmate energy. I do feel that this year brings love for you, but I do feel like there's a little more work on you've got to do. That doesn't stop them from coming, but I feel like you need to feel whole, and loving self and honoring self is going to be very important to do over these next few months so that you're fully ready to receive the attention and the love that I see is coming your way. Thanks, Carrie Cross, for your Facebook question. We're going to pop back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. It's a Cinco de Mayo kind of day. We don't have margaritas in hand, but we sure have a microphone in front of me, so I'm going to pop on over to Steve in Broward County. Steve, how are you today?
I've been with you 12 years since WBZT. I'm doing good.
You have. Thank you so much for remembering that. And we've been together all this time. And my goodness, I remember the first time you called and all the journeys of life that you've had. And may I say to you, Steve, especially because we've had conversations throughout the years, there's been such growth, even though I know at times you may feel a little stuck and stagnant because the expression of life has not shown itself in the physical way as you expected. You have grown tremendously spiritually and really in your connection with Source. So to that I say, bravo, you've grown a lot in these 12 years too. So thank you so much for following us. Steve, what's your question for me tonight?
As usual, I like to pop in and not bother you too much, but where am I at right now in terms of my life?
So I feel like we're navigating some, I don't want to call them challenges, but some relationship growth spurts, yes? And the relationship is going through this shift and change, and it is truly meant to bring the two of you closer together and to bring you into a better understanding of each other. I also feel as if you're learning to accept who you are spiritually. And this juncture, as we come into the beginning of what will be the summer soon, I feel like your energy really aligns more with your spirituality. And I really feel, Steve, that eventually your path is going to be a spiritual role model, mentor, teacher of some sort once you learn best how to articulate what you've been experiencing and realizing and recognizing over these next couple of years to come. And this is really going to be a powerful aha connection moment. The relationship, even though I feel it's running a little hot and cold right now, we're not quite connected or on the same page, I do think we're going to pass through that. And I am actually thinking that there may be a better place for the two of you to live. We may have a move coming up sometime in the latter half of this 2021 time. That will be at your discretion, but I do feel like there's a move coming for the both of you.
Yeah, she had been talking about it for like the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
She said she's going to put it on hold until 2022, 2023 because the housing market's kind of too hot for her. But hey, I'm hanging in here.
Hang in there, see what we can do, but I do feel like there will be a move coming for you. So let's see what the universe has. You never know. We just need just enough to get us through, right?
Right.
So thanks so much, Steve. It's going to be a good year for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. I've got to go to Kelly, and she's in West Palm Beach. Kelly, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm
new
great.
to this. I've never done this before. So
Well, we welcome
my heart
you.
is racing.
Well, take a nice breath. We listen and we give you the guidance that we hear from the angels and the guides that are just for you. So let me start for you, Kelly. The first thing that they make me aware of is that this year is an important year for you to step kind of in this energy of closing doors, things that no longer serve you, what's important for you moving forward, separating yourselves from people who aren't like aligning with you. And I feel like you're feeling this push to make some great changes. And when you put your foot upon the path of your birthday time in the summer month, I feel as if we kind of get a whole new beginning, a fresh start. I feel like you're feeling a push to make some major changes, and there's a little hesitancy because you don't want to do the wrong thing. You're a little hesitant about that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kelly, what's your question for me?
So two questions. Well, one, I really want to connect with somebody I lost not that long ago.
Okay.
I need to know
Yeah.
a lot of things. If you have any messages for me.
Okay. So the first thing I hear when you started to talk, and we're not going to place it set with the person yet, but I have a feeling it's from them, because there's a lot of uncertainty in their passing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I understand. I know what happened, but it was very sudden.
Mm-hmm. And the first thing they're telling me is let it go. You got to let it go. So whatever was out of place or unsettled for the people around you or for you, you've got to let it go. Everything's in divine order. Because when you started talking, I started to hear this, let it go, let it go. So that's what I was hearing. Like, so I'm hearing this theme of Frozen. I'm like, holy God.
That is so funny. I mean, I feel his energy. He comes to my dreams a lot, and I just want to know if he has a message for me and if he is there with me, because I'm not sure.
He is. He's there. He gives me, interesting. So you remember on Valentine's Day, people would give us the little hearts that have words on them.
The candy?
The little candies, yes. So he has a box of those, is what he's opening for me, just to show me something. And so he seems like he's a little meticulous in like order of things or things that are important to him. And so he's kind of pushing past some. And then there's one that says forever. And so he wants you to know that he's going to be with you forever. Does this make sense to you? You were his person that he could talk to, confidant. You were each other's confidant. We shared communication, right? He gives me this very heartfelt, open exchange between the two of you, yes?
Well, the thing is, I have a lot of pain towards what happened between us, and his death was very sudden, so it was more of unfinished business, and I just want to say I forgive him, but I want to understand what is if he has a message for me. Like, there's something I feel, like energy, I feel it, and I just want to understand why.
Yeah. That will come for you in time, but he needs you to let it go for now. That's why we opened with that. But you're forever in his heart, even though whatever you guys shared together that was close, and then whatever severed it, he's still with you.
Okay. And so my question is, I am in a current relationship, and I just want to know if it's right for me and if I am supposed to be with the person I am currently with.
What is their birthday?
February 28th, 1992.
Okay. So they're going through a lot of expansion and changes that they want to make, and sometimes I think they're not as, you're kind of an organized, straight shooting kind of person, kind of loyal and strong, and I don't know that they're always as strong in their choices as you may be. This makes sense to you, yes?
Yes.
And they run a little hot and cold, and sometimes I feel like you don't know if you can read them as well as you would like to. Like, sometimes there's an aloofness to them, yes? And from this aloofness, you kind of know that he cares. There's a caring. But at times you wonder if it's really the love of your life. This is also true, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So we cannot tell you what to do, but Spirit is guiding me to say this to you. Let this unfold, because there's a strong connection between the two of you, and you're both going through some major changes right now. And those changes are for you to both learn about yourselves individually and connectedly. And we will know more as to what this relationship will hold as we get you ready to close out of this rest of the time through the summer and what he expands to next. Because I feel like he's so eclectic and eccentric in his thoughts, and sometimes he can't quite articulate what he wants to do and make it happen. But I feel like there's some expansion that comes for him as we get a little closer to the end of the year. And this, once he gets himself on that path where he's not as insecure in ways that sometimes are hard for other people to understand, that he may kind of settle in to be a little bit more heartfelt in the expression of love that you would like to receive. Because I don't feel like he's expressing it in the way that makes you feel it. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's exactly what I feel.
Yes. He is an amazing person. He is a great person. But there's something about him that's a little detached. And only he can work through that. And you're just going to give the space for him to figure that out. I do hope you and I reconnect again. I do feel a strong presence from your connection on the other side. And I do feel that there's so much more that if we were to work in that energy for a period of time, perhaps in a general reading, we would be able to get you a little bit more. But for the length of time I have to make this connection tonight, I just really want you to know that they're forever with you, just like the little Valentine's heart says. And I know that they didn't mean to disappoint you, but for now, let it go.
I just want to know, did he find peace? Did he move on?
He is in peace. That's why he wants you to let it go.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you. And I live down the block, so I will be seeing you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I look forward to it. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, I can't wait to talk to you right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light. Call Sarah Spiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And in the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to be welcoming Stacie Haller. We're going to be talking astrology, see what's going on with the new moons, the full moons, the eclipses. It's going to be a really good show. But for now, I've got to go to Washington. I've got Kel on the line. Hey, how are you tonight?
Oh, hanging in there.
Great, great. And is it Kel or Kelly?
Kel, or well, a legal name, Kelly.
Okay, but for now, we are Kel, so this is perfect. So, Kel, how can I assist you tonight?
There's been a lot happening in my life, and it's been overwhelming, and I think I don't know, realized that some things clicked into place for possibly why I'm here, and it's kind of daunting.
It is a daunting task, but Kel, let me first go back a little bit. So when I go back to the year of 2016 into 17, that was a time of change for you, yes? Did we move then at that time? It seems to be a big shift that happened around 2016 into 17.
Right? I got pregnant, and I had an open adoption.
Okay. And so this was a big shift for you, yes? And my spirit guides tell me that part of the reason why life is on the path that it's on is because of shifts and changes of that time, okay? Because it sets a course of action. And, Kel, when I look at the energy now, I see as if there's an opportunity for you to really invite your spirituality to become a more active part of your life. And I'm feeling as if you're noticing, feeling, and experiencing spirit differently than you have before. Archangel Michael steps before me and also talks to me about something about papers or legalities. Are you filling out some papers or something legal, please, at this time?
Currently?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No paperwork currently. Possibly moving states?
Yes. Okay. There's some paperwork, contracts, lease agreements, something. There is big changes coming for you, but Archangel Michael will help you make the right choices at the right time, fill out the paperwork right. There's some official documentation that I see. I feel as if you don't feel like you belong where you are anymore, not just location, but even in the circle of the people that you're in. Is that true, Kel?
Yes.
Okay. What is your question for me?
I'm sorry, I thought I had the question, and I don't anymore.
Interesting. That's a sense of overwhelmment, yes?
Yeah.
Understand this. That everything in your life, whether you understand the purpose and the reason, is happening for a reason. And everything's for your highest good. And the transitions that are the expression of self, and the transitions that are external, that are impeding the true expression of self, are all ironing themselves out. I say we're not sleeping well at night, our rest is disrupted, and we are foggy, to say at the least, in the mind, yes?
Yeah.
This is a transition that will pass. It is temporary. But there's also a great whelming up in the heart of a sense of loss and mourning. Is this also true? There's a sorrow, sadness, yes? We are in that mode, yes? There's a guardian angel that's with you that is hearing your conversations, talking to yourself and almost talking to the heavens in a way that lets you know that they're with you, but you're still questioning that. This is true, yes?
Yes.
In the next 3 months, the changes will be in place for you to make. You will be well, and all will be taken care of. There's 3 things moving simultaneously at the same time that are creating this upheaval. One thing at a time. Know the angels are with you. Kel, I hope we can continue this conversation, perhaps on Facebook, perhaps on a private session. I can feel the grief, the overwhelming, and perhaps you'll have a little more clarity at a one-on-one. Thank you so much. I trust I've been of some service to you tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we return, we're going to be talking a little astrology with Stacie Haller. So stay with us. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
The brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinion.
When the day is through and you to me, and I will be your safe haven in this crazy world that we live in, and we lose ourselves every day. You can turn to me and count on me to be there every step of the way. I'm your safe haven every day. When you're thinking I can hear you, I am with you now, and every step of the way in this crazy world we live in. We lose ourselves every day. When you feel like you're lost and you don't know where you are, I will guide you to be in the safe haven with me. In this crazy world we live in every day, it's so easy to lose the way. So if you know in your heart I'm with you every step, you will find safe haven today. You will find safe haven today. Safe haven today. The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way.
Unsure how to connect? Do you wonder if your loved ones who are deceased are among you? Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium who can connect you with your loved ones, spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. For Sarah, life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. To contact Sarah for a personal reading, call 561-682-0956 or send an email to Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can also visit www.sarahspiritual.com for more information. That's 561-682-0956 or sarahspiritual.com. Let Spirit and Sarah raise you up.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. Spiritually Speaking with Sarah is presented by the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. For the next hour, call in and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, and share love and light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation. But before we go back to our questions that are on hold all across the nation, we've got Missouri, we've got here in South Florida and other states around the globe. We've got our wonderful Facebook and our YouTube people as well, but I've got a special guest, and she's holding. And I just need to connect because I think she's got an idea of what's coming up. And we need our astrology report for the month of May. And I want to see if the stars are out tonight. I want to see whether we're going to be a little cloudy or bright. And Lord knows I want to see the sun and the moon. And I think some exciting things are happening. So I'm going to welcome my friend Stacie Haller. Stacie, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing great, thank you. Always happy to be here with you.
Good to have you back again. And first, thank you so much for joining us on Friday night. We had a spectacular intro to astrology class, so you did a spectacular job. Everyone loved it. And I know people are really anxious to see what else you've got up your sleeve to teach us in the months to come. So we're just putting that out there, Stacie. No pressure. But we're looking forward to you coming back.
It was a lot of fun. We had a great class, and I am looking forward to the next one. And if you listen to what we're talking about tonight, it might give everybody a little clue as to what we might be talking about next.
Our next class, I know, we were buzzing about it when I was in the car on my way to Boca today. So, Stacie, what's looking up here? So what's coming next?
Well, May is a very interesting month because we have a few events we want to highlight so everybody could be aware of. I mean, we are in Taurus season now, and we've been in Taurus season, which has been very practical and down to earth and a low-key time. As we go through the month, we'll be moving into Gemini, which is much lighter and social and more out there, so we'll feel it lighten up. But we have a couple of events I want everybody to sort of be aware of as we move through the month. And two of them reflect around the moon. So the moon is a big player for us in May. So we're starting on May 11th with the Taurus New Moon. So the new moon, as I know you've discussed before with everyone, Sarah, too, is a time for new things, new beginnings. And Taurus is all about the material things, the love and money and pleasure. So with this new moon, it's a really good time to set intentions around what brings us sustenance, what is all the Taurian energies, which is very earthbound and sensual and love and the good material things in life. So that's going to be the energy of the new moon, and it's a good time to have a fresh start with anything material. The Taurus energy will help you move forward if you have the right intentions on the new moon. The next moon, in 2 weeks after that, on the 26th, that's really the big event of the month. We have a lunar eclipse in the full moon in Sagittarius. It's our first eclipse of the year. It's kicking off eclipse season, of which, so everybody knows, there are 2 lunar eclipses in a year and 2 solar eclipses in a year. So this one is kicking off in May in Sagittarius. So it is pretty much a big deal. And what a lunar eclipse and a full moon is It's basically a full moon on steroids. It's like the power of 10 full moons in the eclipse. So it's a pretty powerful event.
And so, Stacie, let me ask you, what could someone, because we're all about manifesting or releasing or just shaking things up. And so here we have, and it's the night before my birthday, so Lord knows I'm going to have to be out there by the moon. And so we've got this full moon, that's a lunar eclipse. What might somebody use this energy for? How can we harness this energy?
I think one of the things we need to do is it's an event that is happening, all right? And the thing about a lunar eclipse is it's the wild card. It surprises us. It will create events, unexpected events, losses, changes, things that are going to happen, but we have to understand that the purpose is to clear the way of things for our own evolution. So it's the way we look at the energy, the way we have to accept it. And even though the full moon is about endings and releasing and finality, this is going to be on a much bigger level. But one thing I do want to point out, because we talk about specific dates, and everything with astrology looks like a bell curve. So you start to feel the effects before, and you feel the effects afterwards. Just like when we talk about the Mercury retrograde, which is also happening this month, we've talked before about the shadow, kind of like the lingering effects. The energy doesn't like hit us and then clear the air. It kind of builds up and it comes down. And especially around eclipses and full moons, you might feel it like 5 days before and 5 days afterwards mostly. But what happens on a lunar eclipse or a full moon, you may not even understand the meaning of it till later on, but it's what changes and what events will come up that day. So what it does, it's meant to awaken us to align to our true path. So it's going to disrupt and end things really for the purpose in our lives of moving along in our own evolution. So I think it's important to understand that as these things are happening. But for sure with this eclipse, there's going to be major awakenings and changes going on. So everybody just has to understand what the reason is, what it's all about. And of course, as you know, we all feel it differently depending on how it affects our individual journeys.
Right, in our individual chart, which is something that you do cover in a personal session when someone understands their natal chart. But Stacie, will we see this maybe on a global scale or more individually? How do you interpret this energy? Do you feel that people may feel it more on an emotional level, or things may just be snapped out from under them? Because, this becomes a bit of a nail biter for all my listeners who don't like change. So let's give them something to
nobody,
hold on to.
everybody sees it coming. But to answer your question, yes, we will see things on a global level. I think things will reveal themselves. Things that we need to see are going to come to light by the power of this, but it also affects us individually. So I will say, so this eclipse is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. So if your sun sign or your rising sign is a fire sign, many times when you're in the same element, the eclipses are more positive for you because the energy is flowing positive. So don't freak out if you're a Sag or an Aries or a Leo. It might be a little more positive for you. Doesn't mean you're not going to feel some changes, but for you in the same element, it's a little more positive. Now, I will say, my Cancer friends out there, whether you're a Cancer in your sun sign or in your rising sign, even your moon sign, we all know that the moon rules Cancer. So Cancers are going to feel the moon. They're more sensitive to the moon energy than a lot of the other signs. So everything hits us individually, but when it comes to an eclipse, I think we're going to see it on all levels.
Yeah. And it's the first of the series of eclipses that we're going to see in this year. So this is going to make it powerful, correct?
Yes, that's why it's kicking off the season for us. Now, the next lunar eclipse isn't until November, but in the meantime, come June, we do have a solar eclipse. So we'll take a look at that. They're kind of like the two bookends, right? The solar and the lunar, the full moon and the new moon. So they're all here to encourage us and to bring in changes into our lives. and to help us recognize the evolution that we're on. We all know if we don't get rid of things we need to get rid of, sometimes life just takes over and makes it happen for us.
Absolutely.
In some ways, the changes that will come with the eclipse in your life, if you feel them and you see them happening, just understand it's part of the evolution that's coming to you, and to take a look and say, okay, where do I go from here? This must be a change I need to make. And what direction do I need to go in? What's interesting is we're also moving into Gemini in the month, and Gemini is a thinking sign. Gemini is the way we think about things. We use our intellect and our brains. So we're going to have that energy to figure this out. And I would say even with Mercury retrograde, that comes at the end of the month, that is in Gemini. So Mercury and Gemini are very happy together. I was queuing you up, Sarah, for a song right there on Happy Together. But
Happy together. Yes.
Perfect.
Listen,
So
Stacie, hold
they're
on.
really in line. And as we're moving, and many planets are moving into Gemini this month, that's going to fire up our intellect and our thinking and opening up how we could do things and fueling our intuition. So we have help with all these things, but everybody's going to experience it in their own way. But I do think with the lunar eclipse, we're going to see it on all levels. But if you go to sleep at night and say, well, everything is fine, that's fine. It may have not hit you as because your path and your journey isn't there, or you might feel the effects afterwards, or something might happen the day before or the day after, and you don't even realize the changes it's going to end up bringing for you.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the effects, because what I've observed and what I've come to know is that just because we say May 26th, as you said, a little bit before, someone could begin to have a shift, something could suddenly change for them, or it could be 3 weeks after, and then the change hits. Because, like you said, this bell curve, this is why if we had lunar and solar eclipse more regularly during the year, we'd be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So this energy is building up to this moment, and then it's going to unfold. And as the residual bits of energy are there, it may catch somebody in a different part of their life that they're not expecting. And they may not see the eclipse effect until the solar eclipse comes and goes, and then bam, bam, they get it. So it's a matter of just, like you said, we go to sleep, we wake up, well, that wasn't so bad, or, ooh, that was good. But it's shifting energy that is sometimes so subtle that when it comes, we were so anticipating it to be so sharp that it catches us off guard when we notice, wait a minute, how did I get from here to here? Or how did I think I was going to renew my lease, and now all of a sudden I can't renew my lease because they're selling the house, or something that we think we have all sewn up and in the bag could just kind of pop up like a jack-in-the-box and really surprise us, yes?
And that's exactly why I wanted to bring it up in our talk today, so everybody doesn't think, okay, I just got to get through this 24 hours, let's see what happens. It's really not like that. It's like, that's why I always look at that bell curve. Energy is not hard and fast, right? It builds, crescends, and then it fades, but we're still affected at every step along the way.
Absolutely. And, look back at some of the other solar and lunar eclipses, some more significant. I look back to a solar eclipse that happened in 2016. It was April 2016. I can't forget it. It was a series of events that happened in that day. There was an accident with my car. My dogs were in the car. The dogs are running down Okeechobee Boulevard here in West Palm Beach. Then something else happened. Then someone who was working with me decided she was going to go take another job. And it was a whole series, like the day itself was the whirlwind from heck. And I was like, my goodness. So sometimes it could hit you like that. And then, of course, we've had so many other eclipses that I've been sitting outside singing Kumbaya like it's no big deal. So it's a matter of what needs to shift, what's changing, and what's going on with the people around you. Because you may not feel the need to shift or change, or you may have yourself in your energetic rhythm that's conducive, and this lunar eclipse and or solar eclipse can be a magnificent rebirthing experience for you. And you could be singing Kumbaya and howling at the moon and feeling joyous and embracing your god or goddess energy. It could be a spectacular exploration of self. And then for others, it would be like, oh, where haven't you cleaned up? Oh, let's move this dresser. What's behind it? A hot mess. And now you're faced with cleaning up messes that you have been just kind of sticking behind things because you wanted to figure it. If you didn't see it, didn't look at it, it wasn't going to hurt you. And now here it is and in your face, because we need to clean things up. And I say this not just because of this astrology time right now, Stacie, but I say it because, we are all as a society being asked to look at what needs to shift, what needs to change. What do I personally need to clean up? It's not just about cleanliness to keep ourselves healthy. It's about spiritual cleanliness and physical cleanliness. And this is where we are as a society right now.
Absolutely. That's why I talk about it's part of the evolution. I will say Uranus in the sky is also close to the sun, so we're all feeling those. It's the universe pushing us where we need to change.
Absolutely.
And saying, take a look. You might not have expected this to happen, but we're clearing the way, like you said. We're vacuuming behind the dresser.
Yes.
We're actually making it clean and setting a new direction of where we need to go to stay on our path.
Absolutely. And then we have our friendly, ever fun Mercury retrograde coming in the sign of Gemini on May 29th. Do tell, Stacie, how shall I brace myself for this?
Well, I'm not too upset about this Mercury retrograde because it is in Gemini, which is all about communications, and so is Mercury. I think we need to treat it like we treat every Mercury retrograde. It's not a good time to start new things, but it's I call it the re-month, right? Redo, reassess, revisit. Go back to things you did before. See friends and people you did before. Anything you did before that you want to look at again, it's a great time to do. Not so great in starting new things, new jobs, signing contracts, and if you need to, you just need to be very careful. Dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure you know what you're doing, because we know things could screw up in a retrograde. And it's flowing the energy with Gemini, but Gemini is all about communications too. So it will be a retrograde. You need to watch what you're doing. Take advantage of the retrograde. If there's something you wanted to go back to do, or you wanted to restart that project that you started a while ago, or even rekindle an old friendship, or go back to someone else. It's an excellent time to do that. So it's not all negative about the retrograde. It's how you understand the energy and how you proceed, how you navigate those 3 weeks.
Absolutely. Well, Stacie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as always, very informative. We're so grateful for you sharing your knowledge of astrology with all of us. And those of you listening, if you want to learn more about Stacie Haller and her fabulous astrology readings, you can go to Destiny in the Stars. That's destinyinthestars.com. And be sure to read all the services she offers. And perhaps you just might want to schedule your personal session with Stacie, because I know it'll be most informative. Thank you, Stacie.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone.
Yes,
Thank
have a
you,
margarita
Sarah.
For us. All right, bye for now.
All right, bye.
Yes, Stacie's in Boston, so I'm sure she'll be having a margarita any minute now. And we are so glad to be here with all of you. We're going to jump on the phone lines for just a moment before we go back to Facebook, back to YouTube. And I've got Antoine. Antoine's in Boynton Beach. He's been holding for a while, and I just got to get to Antoine. Antoine, you still there with us?
I am here.
Good to connect with you. And you have to wipe the slate clean, get a new beginning, get a new attitude, and really push to advance yourself in your spiritual knowledge and protection, Spirit says. So have you been having some conflicts with some people around you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been feeling like I've been having to be on guard a lot.
Yeah, so the energy's a little rough around you. So you've got to be subtle and sweet and just really speak your truth, but be the gentle soul and not engage, because I feel as if this is a time where you're healing old wounds inside of you, and this healing process is kind of triggering some of the emotions inside of you, Antoine, that kind of hurt, and it's also making other people kind of lash out at you, and you can't engage right now. It's all about self-care, self-love, and setting a new pace, a new attitude. I'm feeling like there's a job change, a new opportunity coming for you. Are you looking for a new job right now, Antoine?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Some way to get more money.
Yeah. I see a new opportunity coming to you, and the angels are with you. The guides are with you. I also see cards. So do you have spiritual cards that you've been reading, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
And so these are opening up new possibilities for you and new bits of information. And I see like you're having a lot of fun with this and lining up and tuning up to spirit. Is that also true?
Yeah.
Good. What is your question for me, Antoine?
I would say my main question is, what words could I put it in? Honestly, I just feel like I'm at a point, like you said, where I'm so guardy, and I'm, every day I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, and if there's any guidance or just anything I need to hear, I just need guidance. Because I feel like I'm so in 5 places, like with my mental, with my job, with my finances, with the relationships. Because, like, there's people I talk to in relationships, and those aren't working anymore. And I feel like it's the time where I feel like the message is to be in solitude,
Mm-hmm. And
I
also,
feel like,
let me just interject for you here, because I'm hearing, and I spoke to a caller earlier, and I think you were on hold during this time. I was telling her there was a message from her loved one on the other side, and they were saying, let it go. Let it go. Exactly, right? You knew exactly where I was going. Good job. So let it go is just let it go. Recognize people for where they are in their journey. And I say this to you and everyone, please. Everyone is on their journey, and we're all navigating our own fears, our own insecurities. We're all going through our changes, and the universe is pushing us to rise to the occasion. And some people are having a little difficulty rising to the occasion. And so it's coming at us in all different ways. And we have to stay steady, still, steadfast. You may not have to necessarily be the hermit and completely remove yourself from others, because we have to engage in life. So to go within and be still and move through the daily activities of different people and different jobs and navigating financial choices and maybe even a challenge, just say this too shall pass. And I have everything I need necessary to move me through this with ease and grace. I have everything I need that will allow all that I need to be provided for instantaneously. Therefore, I'm just going to show up. And I'm going to learn to meet people where they're at. And it makes no difference where they're at, because their actions and reactions, their words, do not define me. I am solid in who I am. I am connected to the divine. And just have this mental sense of yourself. Have this emotional and spiritual feeling sense that you are always protected, as the Archangel Michael is saying. You are always in this alignment. And it's up to you whether you allow others to make you waver. And if you get yourself to short circuit, which we can all do, and you get yourself in a bit of a frenzy in your head, then you just say to yourself, okay, stop, drop, roll, be still. Just kind of stop yourself in your tracks. Reminds me, if they said if there's ever a fire, what do? You stop, you drop, and roll, right? So sometimes things feel like they're burning up inside of us. And so just stop, drop, and roll. And as you roll away from what is agitating you in the stillness, self-talk, self-soothe, self-nurture, give yourself the words of encouragement. Okay, you got yourself into this mess. This person is not behaving in a way that's conducive to how you want to be treated. So you say, I got myself into this, and I can get myself out. And in this moment, I choose to change my interpretation of this experience. I choose to change how this is feeling for me. And in this moment, I choose to remove myself from this circumstance. It's pure and simple. And if you're at work, we can't just go, okay, take this job and shove it. We have to continue working. So you say, okay, this is their personality. I'm going to choose not to engage. I'm going to step away when I can. And I'm just going to go about doing what I need to do at work. And I'm not going to let them rattle me. I can do anything for a short period of time. And in focusing on what you can do and what you want to create and finding your power, your truth, your authenticity, you will become a better magnet for a better suited job that will bring you better experiences than coming from this sense of dissatisfaction of how you don't want to be there and what's kind of crossing you, or how you don't want to engage with some of these people. Now you want to just run to hide, to be in a corner, and that's not how we live life. So you have to learn to control your interpretation of what's going on around you so you can move yourself seemingly undisrupted and move forward with ease and grace to what you want to create. It's how you position yourself in this. Do I make myself clear?
One thing.
Yes.
Lately, when you first said about protection, and I was in my room, and I just felt an energy.
Yeah.
Like, with intuition, like, it didn't feel like the best energy.
Okay.
And I just wanted to know, is there anything I can do, or, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I say this to you and anyone else. If we are ever alone or in a crowd and we feel this, this creepy chill up our spine, or feel uncomfortable, or just feel like, I don't think I'm alone here, then all you do is say, in the moment of now, I am sealed in white light. In the moment of now, I am surrounded by the presence of God. In the moment of now, I summon Archangel Michael for protection and his legion of angels to surround me, so that nothing can touch me other than God's grace and blessing. That's all you do. And you hold that vision and you hold that strength and you say it in the most authoritative voice that you can sum up. And that energy will dissipate because you are a commanding presence of divine influence in this physical expression. That's how you handle that. Thank you so much for holding, and I trust I've been of service to you. And
Thank you.
I trust I'll see you at my center soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, well, I've got someone on hold from Missouri. We got calls all across the nation. We've got people on Facebook, YouTube. They're just holding. We got to get moving. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I know you. Have we met before? I've been shy.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light. Call Sarah Spiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
I've been standing
we're back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And that's me, Sarah Spiritual. And we are answering your questions all across the nation. We're going to pull a question from YouTube and Facebook. And then I've got to hustle on over to Missouri. But let's see, we've got a YouTube question. We actually were able to talk to Goddess. So we're going to pop on over to the next question here and see who we've got in front of us. Isabel Dobson. Isabel Dobson has a question. She says she has this horrible feeling. It's a really bad feeling she's been going through. She's feeling something bad's going to happen. She's kind of wondering and feeling this rumbling pain inside of her stomach, but it's more that angst, that feeling like something bad's going to happen. Isabel Dobson, whenever we have that feeling, and many of us can relate to this, you have to really just pay attention to what's going on around you, but you also have to say, I'm stronger than, I'm better than, the power around me is greater than anything that can befall me. So in this moment of now, I choose the power of the divine source to surround me and protect me so that nothing bad will befall upon me and that everything is going to work out no matter what the illusion appears to be. So Isabel Dobson, hold on to that energy and ask Archangel Michael to be your protector during this time, and we'll say a little prayer for you as well. Who else do we have here on our Facebook and our YouTube questions here? Let's see, we've got Kavila Devi Kulin. She says, hey, any advice how to keep calm and financially enough? Unfortunately, she's kind of becoming in a tough financial situation. She's homeless, and she has to find a temporary accommodation, and so she's getting ready to have a flight and make some changes. You know, Kavila Devi, right now say, I am abundant beyond measure, and the universe supplies all that I need. And the people and the happenstances occur at the perfect time, and people show up to be of assistance to me because the universe is always meeting my every need. And I surrender all fear, I surrender all concern, because I know that all will be taken care of in divine time, in the divine light, and all is well. Remember to say that to yourself, put that into the energy and the power that I am enough, I am bountiful, and I am provided for, and the universe has my back. And this will make a tremendous difference for you. Thank you, Kavila Devi. We'll be sure to hold the space so that you can find safe passage from one location to another so you don't feel this inconvenience of feeling temporary, out of sorts and out of place, and not feeling as if you have a roof over your head. Thank you for your Facebook question. We're going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. Remember, if you don't get through tonight, then join us next Wednesday or follow us on Facebook and YouTube, because we have these pop-up things that we do, and we've got some surprises coming up for you. I mean, it is the month of May. It's a big celebration month, and we're going to celebrate some good times with all of you. So look for us to pop up. Be sure to follow the page, like the page, Sarah Spiritual. Catch the YouTube page. I've got Missouri on the mind, and that means Lisa's there in Missouri. So let's see what's going on with Miss Lisa. Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sarah? Nice to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you again. Thank you so much for holding. I know you were on there for a bit, but hopefully you found it very informative.
Yeah, I did. I really liked all the astrology stuff. I like to keep up on that and know what's coming up ahead of me.
Wonderful. So, Lisa, how can we assist you tonight?
Well, okay, I had my soul session today.
Yes.
I integrated, and I need to know how to tap into my intuitive side to not be so confusing. Because I feel like messages come to me so fast that I can't finish one task before another one comes to me.
Yes.
How do I reel this in? It's kind of like having spiritual ADHD, I guess.
Well, I'm guilty of some
they're
of that.
all over. Like, I've got a lot of people talking all the time.
Yeah, so I have a lot of spiritual ADHD myself at times. I come up with a million ideas all at once. So, yes. So everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying. Only the echo of my angels and guides. So they're all talking, right? So first thing you do, rather than act, Lisa, is hear what you hear and say, great, let me write it down. And then something else comes, write it down. And then write it down, and then write it down. And say to your guides and your angels, what out of this list, in this moment of now, key phrase, in the moment of now, is for my highest and best good, and would you most like me to put into motion? And sometimes you can wait to hear, but then you might hear some more ideas. So I know you are ready. So Miss Spiritual ADHD, I would recommend the use of a pendulum. At this point, have you ever worked with a pendulum before?
No,
Okay.
I've got some tarot cards, but I've never worked with a pendulum before.
Okay, so a pendulum, I do teach a pendulum class. You're going to want to jump on that one. But for now, we want to kind of clear the space, ask Archangel Michael to keep us protected, and you want to take out a pendulum. And I'll send you a picture of one, and we'll worry about how you're going to get a pendulum. But you take out a pendulum, and you ask for it to show you what a yes or a no is. And it'll either go to the left or the right or go back and forth. So you establish with your pendulum, sometimes you can even use like a necklace that has a bit of weight to it. And you establish with your pendulum what its yes or no may be. And then from there, you ask, should I do this first? It'll say no. Should I do this first? It'll say no. Should I start here? It'll say yes. And then because you have your fairy cards, and I know we talked about that today in our soul integration, some of the chit-chat, then take out your fairy cards and pick out 3 cards. You see, they're giving you ideas because I want you to understand that what they're doing is it's not that they're giving you multiple ideas and they want you running ragged. They're giving you a download of information. And it's for you to pick through it and pull forth what you feel you're called to do next. And I know you'll say to me, I'm called to do everything, Sarah, but...
Yeah, I kind of feel that because sometimes at night I don't sleep a whole lot because at night the chatter is really loud.
Okay.
I sleep with 2 fans on. And
So,
I sometimes hear them through the fan.
of course. So,
Yeah.
you
And
ask
waves as well. Like I'll do waves sometimes and I can hear voices in the waves. And I'm like, well, I can't even listen to waves tonight.
Yes. But, just tell them, listen. And you have to train your spirit guides. You're not training them. They're running you amok, right? Could you imagine?
Yeah,
Because I talk to my spirit
I've got
guides.
quite a few of them.
Oh, well, I talk to mine all day long. If they had to talk to me all night, like I literally tell them, okay, lights out, Sarah Spiritual is done. We will hear nothing. Nothing. Unless the house is
Yeah,
like...
see, I shut them out for a long time because I wasn't in a place where I wanted to hear things that I didn't really want to, I didn't want to know. Like, I was trying to avoid what they were trying to tell me, I guess, so I shut them out.
Of course, and many people have done that. But Lisa?
It's like somebody opened all the windows in my house, and they're all like, hey.
But I will tell you this, that the spirit guides are for your highest and best good, and they don't want to see you become run down and tired and then possibly cause harm to your physical self because you're not taking care of yourself. So you say, you have to say to them, it's in this moment of now, what is for my highest and best good, tell me before I fall asleep, and you guys have 30 minutes, go. And then when they keep talking past the 30 minutes, say, okay, you need to stop now, we will talk about this tomorrow. You have to have the authority inside of you and just say, I am the conquering power of God in motion, and in this moment of now, I choose to have no conversation. We will talk tomorrow. The presence of God's authority is here now. Because you most likely are hearing from your guides, but you also may be hearing random chatter from other beings or loved ones on the other side that maybe are not really here to give you anything of substance, and they're just keeping you up because they're like, well, finally she can hear us. Well,
I have a woman in my house. Her name's Lois Loomis, and she was the original woman of the house. And she's a super chatty Kathy.
Yeah, well,
she likes to talk in the middle of the night too, and she comes up with ideas of how the house used to be. And I can't do all the things she wants me to do, and so I have to put my foot down and tell her, listen, it's my house, and I'll adjust, but there are things I want to change in it. But
okay. So and also
she's pretty adamant about some things.
Well, but here's the thing. Give them all a candle. Light a white candle to give them their light and their energy so that they could evolve. Because it sounds like they're kind of chewing your ear off with a lot of human things, which Lois on the other side would not really be worried if you have, a particular flower plant in the front of the yard, you see, or whether something's right. So that means she needs some light, and give her some light. Before we go, Lisa, because we do have to go on to our next call, but I do want to say this to you. I want you to tell everyone in just like a sentence or so what it is you're doing and how people could help you do what you do, because I found that fascinating. So tell them a little bit about our rescue.
I rescue potbelly pigs that are in bad situations. People get, they can't take care of, they neglect. and I get them ready for their forever homes. I took in a mom. I named her Lady Diana, and she had 9 babies for me 2 weeks after I got her. In the middle of a snowstorm, and her son, Willie J., was shot in the leg. And he is rejuvenated and is trusting humans again because of me. It only took him 5 weeks to let me touch him. He came to me scared and unable to even look at me, even when I brought him food, and now he'll let me pet him. And I've got 9 babies. I found 2 homes. But my rescue's just starting. I literally became a rescue overnight. I called my city, who had no pig ordinance, and begged for forgiveness, not permission. And then I was on the news and in a newspaper in 2 weeks' time because, well, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it in the public eye because I don't hide things.
Well, you know, Lisa, I know a lot of people love animals and love assisting others. So is there any way that someone may be able to reach you? Do you have any way for them to reach you that if they feel so inclined after that to assist you on your journey? How can we reach you?
I have a website on Facebook, and it's called Oasis Acres Potbelly Pig Rescue Foster Home.
Oasis?
And it's located in Hannibal, Missouri. Yes, okay. Oasis Acres.
Oasis Acres, and it's Potbelly
Pig Foster Home.
Foster Home. Well, that sounds like she sells seashells, but okay. A Potbelly Foster Home.
Pig Foster Home.
Right.
I'm attaining my 501c3. I'm working through the paperwork now, and it's just going to be Oasis Acres Pig Rescue.
Perfect. So everyone, visit Lisa on Facebook, and let's. Did you save a pig today? Let's save a pig today. I got to go for now. Lisa, thank you so
Sarah.
much. Oh, my pleasure, and thank you so much. It was a fabulous soul integration. Just share with everybody. Do you feel soul integration is valuable for everyone? Please.
It's immensely valuable. I felt a shift in my soul. I felt like it opened up when I reached back and picked up myself that I left behind. It's hard to explain. It's definitely an alignment on a higher level than I even thought possible.
Well, thank you for letting me into your space, and I'm glad we shared that life-changing experience together. And kiss a pig for me. I got to go for now.
I will. I'm going to snuggle them right now.
All right.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. So soul integration is a magnificent experience. We go back to the past and we integrate the aspects of self that perhaps have become fragmented. And if you'd like to learn more about soul integration, you can go to my Sarah Spiritual webpage, sarahspiritual.com/sessions. Scroll down to soul integrations. It's actually on special right now. If you feel like there's some things stopping you and blocking you and not allowing you to move forward with ease and grace in the way that you would like, then please, let's do this work together. You heard it from Lisa herself. It was life-changing, it's altering, and she didn't even expect it would be as grand and as deep as it was. So let's heal ourselves so that we can have the fulfilled life that we would love to have. I'm going to go back to the phone lines. I have someone else who's been holding, and I thank her so much as well. I've got Karen. And Karen is right in Lake Worth Beach, Florida. How are you, Karen?
I'm well, Sarah. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for connecting with me. It's great to make this connection. How may I assist you today?
So, well, thank you. I was listening into every information you provided for anyone. I had 2 questions, and they're probably integrated into one. But the first would be, since your show is about our angels and guides, I wanted to see if they had any advice for me. I've had a lot of changes in the past year, and I'm really, I don't like the word try, but trying to walk and live in my life purpose. And I just wanted to know, with all the changes that I've had recently, am I on the right track? And also, how do I better hear from them?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful question. And I do teach classes on how to connect to your guides and angels. So look out for that, and some of the mailings are on my website. Perhaps we'll give you some more concrete tips in a class. But let me say this to you. First thing I hear is you're more on track than you realize. This year represents a fresh start, a new beginning. They make me feel as if last year was trying and difficult for you, not just because of everything the world was going through, but you were going through your own metamorphosis at this time as well. Karen, I'm also made aware of a woman who stands above you. She's a little step back from me right now, but she makes me feel as if she's in like the grandmother energy, but I really want to place her more in the mother energy. Did your mom pass, Karen, please?
No, I still have both my parents, but I have no grandparents, so maybe it is
it's your mom's mom. Your mom's mom is standing, kind of listening to this as well. And I'm feeling her presence around you but she reads kind of like a mother kind of figure, so I don't know if she was very matriarchal, but this is just the energy that she's projecting around me. And she is working on sending you some signals, almost like smoke signals, to get your attention. And and who is the person who smoked or smokes in your family, please?
My mom's father smoked a pipe.
Yeah, someone's smoking up there, so I've got someone smoking, so he's there as well. I give to you this, that you are making all the right moves, is the word they give me, but they're also talking about, did you just move, or are you thinking of moving, please?
Yeah, I moved a year ago, and my lease is up now, and I was thinking about buying, but the market is crazy right now. But literally, so I'm trying to decide: do I renew here as well as try to keep trying to purchase a place? But yes,
great. So you've made great movement, but they're also showing me a move. So navigate it the way that is for the best ease and grace, and don't preclude yourself in thinking I can't do it because the market is crazy. Just tell yourself if it's the right time and it's meant to be, something's going to open up for me. If it's the right time and it's meant to be, something's going to open up for me. And ask your angels and your guides to show you. But I don't feel that you're happy in the spot that you're in. Like I feel like no matter what, there's something that could change for you if you choose. So I also they're also making me aware that you can benefit by using some cards to give you some messages, and for you to sit and journal. And one of your angels, interesting enough, her name is Althea, and she is one of your angels that are guiding you, and she's not your guardian angel though. She's an angel connected to your guardian angel, and this Althea energy, she has this strong presence of connection and creativity, and she's giving me a pen, and she's saying, tell her to write and say, what would you have me know today? And I will give her a message for every day. And so you ask your question and you say, Althea, what would you have me know today? You and my other guides and angels, I thank you. And then write whatever comes to you, and then close the book. Don't read into it. Don't try to figure out what they mean. And then the next day. And what you will have is a series of messages that are going to guide you so perfectly in the right direction. You are here to be of service to others. You're here to be in the healing energy. You're here to be intuitive and give messages to others. But you're here to empower people most of all. So however you choose to articulate these magnificent gifts that are around you, that you're tapping in and tuning into now, this is going to make the difference for you. If you just sit and be still and just ask the question, write what comes to you. And don't say, oh, I think that was my thought. Just write it, close the book, and you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Karen. And is this your first time calling?
It is.
Great. How'd you hear about the show?
I was on Facebook, and I saw your live came up, and I was like, oh, let me tune into Sarah, because I've driven past your shop. I'm actually in your plaza a lot, and I was like, oh, this is Sarah Spiritual, and I listened in. I was like, oh, let me call, and if they answer me, it's meant for me to get on the show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And pop into the center. I'm sure you'll love the energy, the crystals, the cards. We have all sorts of cool little things to help you align with your spirit guides and your angels. So pop on in and be sure to say hi.
I will. Thank you so much. You have
welcome.
A great evening.
You too, Karen.
Thank
Bye
you.
For now.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got to go to Anna. Anna, how are you tonight?
Hello.
Hi, how's everything for you?
Good.
Good. Anna, you're in Connecticut? What part of Connecticut are you in?
Harper County.
Oh, well, sounds like a pretty place to be. How's your weather there?
Today's rainy.
Oh,
it's in the 60s for the most part.
Well, that's good. So how can I assist you tonight, Anna, please?
I have actually two quick questions.
Yes.
we spoke before, and I actually found a job where I like, and I like working, and I like my employees and what I do. But unfortunately, I see it ending just because of a certain mandate that they're probably going to have employees do, which goes against my belief, and I think it's unethical. So I see it coming, so I just don't know. I guess I'm kind of lost. If it does happen, or when it does happen, I just want to make sure everything will be okay if I have to depart from my job.
Well, trust this, that for your highest and best good, the universe will open up a door. If it looks like this door is about to slam shut, the universe is going to open up another doorway for you. And you have to do what aligns best for you and trust that everything's going to work out. I do feel that although they may be leaning that way, I don't really feel it's quite as easy as they're trying to make it seem. I almost feel like it's a little bit more of a tactic to just get everyone to just jump on board so that they don't have to push the envelope in a particular way that they may or may not be able to do. So stand your ground, stand in your beliefs, trust what you know is best for you, for your physical self and your spiritual and emotional self, and say that, this is the divine being that has the divine free will, and divine free will gives you permission to choose what you feel is for your best and highest good. So in the power of that which is divine within you, Anna, you ask all divinity to align to you the perfect outcome, regardless of the illusions that are being portrayed around you that do not suit your free will choice. And something miraculous will happen either where you are, or something else will open up just for you.
Okay.
Trust that expression, please.
I will.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes.
I have one more question.
Yes.
I do have a son. He's a teenager. I just want to make sure, just as a mother, you constantly worry, and just want to make sure that he'll be okay, and that.
What's his birthday? What's his birthday?
I'm sorry?
His birthday?
6/26/2004.
This year is actually going to put him on a path of some new self-expression and really learning to be authentically who he's come to be, and actually making some better decisions as far as what's going to make him happy. So I kind of feel like he's kind of looking at the future as opposed to just the moment of now. He's in good condition, good shape, good solid person, and he's sensitive and truly aligning to everything that's going on in the world, and he feels it in a sense of compassion. I've got to go for now, Anna. I trust I've been of service to you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
888-565-1470. There's a light. Yes, right here on WWNN. And that lights all of you. Continue to listen this month of May from 6 to 8 p.m. because we're celebrating 12 years of national radio. We're celebrating you right here on WWNN. Catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Follow Sarah Spiritual and visit sarahspiritual.com. For now, we bid farewell. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Stay safe. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate life. Listen and call in next week and let Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in next week for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions